What if the next species on Earth is already human, but not entirely human? That sounds impossible. But scientists are working on technology that could make that question very real. Imagine choosing traits from the animal kingdom, like upgrades. The strength of a wolf, the reflexes of a cat, the vision of an eagle, the speed of a cheetah. Sounds like science fiction. Except the first pieces of this future already exist. Here's the question: why would anyone want to combine human biology with animals in the first place? The answer isn't what most people expect. It's not about creating superhumans. It's about saving lives. Right now, thousands of people are waiting for organ transplants. Every day, some never receive the call they're hoping for. So scientists began asking a radical question. What if animals could help grow human-compatible organs? And this is where it gets weird. Researchers have spent years placing human cells inside animals like mice, rats, and pigs. Not to create monsters, not to create hybrid creatures, but to explore whether living animals could become biological factories for life-saving organs. The idea sounded controversial, yet the science kept advancing. Then something happened that changed everything. In 2019, a scientist in Japan received approval to grow human cells inside animal embryos. For the first time, a pathway opened toward a future many believed would never happen. But that raises an even bigger question. If we can place human cells inside animals today, how far could this technology go tomorrow? And that's when things started getting complicated. Scientists call these organisms chimeras, a name borrowed from mythology. But unlike the legends, these hybrids aren't being created to terrify people. They're being created to solve one of medicine's biggest problems. Here's how it works. Researchers remove the genetic instructions needed for an animal to grow a specific organ. Then human stem cells are introduced. The goal? Allow those human cells to build a replacement organ inside the animal. It sounds almost unbelievable, yet that's exactly what scientists are trying to achieve. And the potential impact is enormous. More than 100,000 people wait for organ transplants every year in the United States alone. Thousands die before a donor becomes available. So the promise is obvious. But here's the strange part. The science may be easier than the ethics. Because what happens if human cells spread somewhere they weren't supposed to? What if they contribute to the animal's brain? Suddenly the conversation changes. Now we're not just talking about organs. We're talking about consciousness. Could an animal gain human-like awareness? Could it understand suffering differently? Could it think in ways we never intended? Nobody wants to find out the hard way. And that's why many governments remain cautious. But that's not even the craziest part. Because the real twist isn't about animals becoming more human. It's about humans becoming more animal. If scientists eventually learn how to safely transfer useful animal traits into people, the entire definition of humanity could begin to shift. And once that door opens, can it ever be closed again? What happens next changes everything. Imagine a future where people are born with enhanced senses, extreme endurance, or biological abilities inspired by animals. At first, it sounds incredible. Diseases could be prevented. Lifespans could increase. Human limitations could begin to disappear. But every breakthrough creates new problems. Question: what happens when some people become biologically superior to others? The answer could reshape civilization itself. Food production would change. Medicine would change. Insurance systems would change. Even the definition of healthcare might change. And this is where it gets weird. Would doctors be enough? Or would some conditions require entirely new forms of treatment? The deeper you think about it, the stranger it becomes. But then comes the darkest possibility. History shows that powerful technologies rarely stay peaceful forever. So what happens when governments become interested? Imagine military programs pursuing enhanced soldiers. Faster, stronger, more resilient, maybe even equipped with abilities borrowed from the animal kingdom. Suddenly, a medical breakthrough becomes something else entirely. A new kind of arms race. And that's the twist nobody expected. The technology designed to save lives could also transform warfare, society, and even human identity itself. So are human-animal hybrids the future of medicine? Or the beginning of a future we aren't prepared for? Scientists are searching for answers right now. The experiments continue. The possibilities keep expanding. And somewhere between hope and uncertainty lies a question humanity has never faced before. If we gain the power to redesign ourselves, how much of being human are we willing to give up?